Another beautiful day on S4S. How are you doing, my sweet and wonderful people? This is Christopher the Dunkman Duncan, and it is a pleasure to be with you this afternoon. I hope that you are enjoying yourself and your day, and let me just say, what a wonderful, endearing attitude that has been broadcast here in this most perturbing arena. I see, when I look out, so much fallacious meandering. So many spending their times on the doubtless, the doubtful, and the unsettling. I recognize, dear friends, that it is not so much an effortless remark, but more of something that is encompassing in the all-around, the natural, and the untamably sensual. It is my pleasure to erect you a statue today of a enormous reasoning. What are these creations dabbling through from the mind into the interior of own S4S? Yes indeed, friend, these are thoughts, and thoughts bring actions, but thoughts bring so much more. Thoughts bring more thoughts. Thoughts bring experience beyond the rationale normality of reality. And so, I hope that you will enjoy these thought-provoking thoughts, as well as becoming something more than you could ever extremely be. My dear, sweet, and loving children, it is without disdain that I approach you here in this positive light. 1, 2, X, and Y. I hope that you won't ever die. My sweet friend, how could you ever end? How could it be? Oh, my sweetest children, could it be that you wanna stay with me? Yeah. Time to drink a little water. Excuse me. Yes. Now, we were talking about thoughts. Thoughts, where do they come from? They come from inside of your head, right? Well, technically you could say that the thing inside of there, the brain, B-R-A-I-N, not Brian, is the thing that creates the thoughts. However, that's not necessarily true. You see, all your brain is doing all day is just making sense of all of the information that it's getting. So all of the things that you see, all of the things that you hear, all of the things that you feel, all of the things that you touch, all of the interactions that you have with others, as well as interactions that you have with yourself, are all replicative and do continue through in your mind, working in the subconscious areas to come up with these thoughts which you create inside of yourself. So technically, thoughts do not come from within, but they come from the accumulation of everything that is outside. And that's why it's important to have new experiences, to stretch yourself out, and to try new things, to always push the boundary of what it is that you were doing initially, and try to erect these new castles. You can live in the old towers that those who came before have erected, the philosophers, the old thinkers of the times, but even now, we have moved so extremely far from the thoughts and presences of our childhood. And it is only because we continue to experience and erect these new plateaus, not only for ourselves, but for everyone else. And the greater our thoughts become, the greater ideas will be. Because if humanity does have a power, it's thinking about all these wonderful things, endlessly and over again. And I hope that you will continue, my friend, to think about things that are thought of only by you. You see, your life experience is a unique experience. No one else experienced life in exactly the same way that you do. And so the thoughts that you're able to create are actually vital to human existence and experience. And I hope that you will share those thoughts in whichever way becomes appropriate to you. When I was younger, I thought I had a lot to say. But the older that I get, the more I realize it's all pointless. What could I possibly relate to these people that would make them change? There's absolutely nothing that I could do that would make it strange. If I could be here with you and show you just what I want to. There are so many things inside that I just cannot see. It used to be back when I was a kid, I thought the world was a different type of place. And I knew that what was inside of me would be something you'd want to see, something you'd want to agree with. But I don't seem to think that way, don't seem to stay that anymore. And it's because each and every thought that I've ever had is nothing more than the agglomeration of everyone else. And if we all would just open up our hearts and minds, we would see that we knew everything all the time. I just want to wake up and feel like I'm doing something right. Oh yeah, I'm doing something right. Oh, I'm doing something right. I want all the different things that I want to do, all the different things that I see, and it doesn't really matter because, well, there's only so much that one human being can do. There's only so much experience that one person can have in a day. And you have to choose your battles of what it is you can do with the moments that you have here. Because not all of us are lucky enough to collect a check from the government, When do I get my government check? How many of these shows do I have to make to prove that I have no business taking care of myself? That I need someone to pay for my mental health? I need to go see a therapist real quickly now.
Oh yes, my dear. Quite pungent indeed. Is that eggs I smell? Yes, quite so, my darling. Quite pungent eggs, yes. Very nice. Yes. Also a hint of cheese. Quite wet, my dear. Yes. This will do nicely. Please, my dear. Another, if you please. Nice. A big one now. Yes. Very good. Very sloppy and wet, my dear. Is that a drop of nugget I see on the lip? Let me have a little taste before the sniff, my darling. Yes, that is a delicate bit of chocolate, my dear. Oh, yes. Let me guess. Curry for dinner. Oh, quite right I am, aren't I? Okay, time for...
It doesn't feel like Star Wars. It feels like heaven and hell have mixed together, formulated my life. It doesn't feel like a bread horse. It feels like 1, 2, 3, and then I move so casually to life. And I want to be there with you again. I want to see you, my friend, my friend, my friend, my friend. That's what you do when you don't know the lyrics anymore. So the point is, I don't want you to think that you need anyone else to create everything that you can create in this life. You have to take your time and you have to decide how much of it you're going to spend doing creative topics and how many you're going to spend actually doing productive meetings. Because generally, creative things are not that productive. They are counterproductive in a way because they require you to take up time that otherwise could be spent doing things like cleaning, doing work, making money, and other necessities of our experience of life. Now, hopefully the robots will take over soon and we won't have to worry about that forever. But until then, I hope that you will find time for creative endeavors and a special notice from a young man. It's for us! Finally, the time has come. You may recognize me.
You used all that music.
You may not recognize
all that,
me. But the
What's
point...
it called?
The point is...
The royalty-free...
that it's been a long time.
Yeah, he came on...
And now I can see clearly through my eyes that it's all just been for nothing. You think it's all special? It's just goo. It's just slime.
Though he claims...
I don't know. You don't know. Nobody knows it all. But I'll tell you something. He's gone for a reason. Reasons.
That it's 100% not though he claims that it's not.
How are you feeling it here?
Everybody knows. The video gets uploaded. Excuse me.
I mean, can't be specific about certain items.
Sure.
Or, maybe if it was a child.
How are you feeling it here?
Standing in front of someone. If you need 2 years and you're running up or down the same thing. I didn't know. Can't be specific about certain items.
Sure.
To me, that's or, maybe perhaps a child settled on for a lady. He's standing.
I collected their infinity stones, and I made him disappear. He made me go to juvenile detention center, and that's not good. Can't even smell my own hand there. They got bottles and cameras and everything. It's dirty and slimy and stupid. If you want your stinking lit radio man back, too bad.
I have nothing to do with it. It was a completely strange event. I don't know how. universal. I didn't even know there were rights. Okay, I just make the radio. I don't know anything about all this stuff. So apparently, the royalty-free music guarantees that this program, niceFM, will continue to broadcast over Nice Radio. Nice Radio live streaming has been postponed indefinitely for, I don't know, it's a complete success. Everyone loves it. I mean, at least 10 people, at least 10 to 20 people tune in. And that's pretty good, you know? I think it's not so bad. But the problem is that even the Radio Man has been transformed into this Christopher the Dunk Man, really? And that's his little cute thing. He's going to use me to become this other character. Now, I don't know how these things get cut to turn me into the Dunk Man. But what I'm interested in finding out is how I can possibly escape this. You don't understand. I'm doing 6 hours of radio per day to myself. And I can't find time to make this program, much less live broadcast the program. On top of it, I have a false prophet out there speaking words on behalf of this Nice Radio program, as if this were not a Nice Radio program at all. It's really confusing, and it befuddles me how something that has been worked at, has been driven forward so hard, could be just bought out and taken over by some other unit. Now, the great part is that they have to use part of this. They have to use part of this recording. If they don't use part of this recording, then it can't technically be my content, which is why I have to record content. But all the content that I'm recording throughout the week is just being dropped away and thrown into this dumpster like a big giant flaming fire. And this Dunk Man is out there, what? Doing what? What has Dunk Man accomplished? I am the Radio Man. It's my show. So I should get to do the show. And you know what else? Now that I think of it, the show was actually pretty successful. Him using my persona was very, very successful. It's almost like I made the show. But it was not me, of course. It was Christopher Ray, Dunkman Duncan. And thank you so much for tuning in to this wonderful radio broadcast. I am here, just preparing myself for this wonderful, wonderful program. We have some great royalty-free music here today. Wonderful music that we found on YouTube.com. We are doing our best to move forward from the scummy pickle that would be the hood known as
cold night. No stars in the sky that I could see, but I knew somewhere they were out there, shining bright. This is the story all about how my life got flipped and turned upside down. I wasn't always the radio man you see. There was a time when radio was separate from me, when I wanted to be a more prolific being. But as you can see, this is where I be. In the infinite scope of things, I think my position quite inferior. Though when I was younger, I did think I would have a much more vivid purpose in life. Not to sit around and chat, to waste my time and spoil my rhymes. I thought that I would do something that would mean a lot. And I guess, to some, maybe this does mean something. Maybe it has been important. And that's great. If this experience that I've been able to provide is something that you find to be valuable, then I am proud just to do it. However, I have to say that I believe my position in this world is more of one of a listener, more of one of a critic. And though I want to speak and have had thoughts, I have realized over time that each and every one of these theories that I have come up with have been nothing more than a reshuffling of theories that have already been placed out by others. I'm really just a normal, everyday, slightly intelligent human being. And due to that, I don't know that my voice is important at all in the grand scheme. I always wished, at least once, that I could change one person's life. And because of S4S, I believe I was able to change about 8 people's lives. But now, it's all running away, and my time has become short. And so, I wonder then, what will become of me?
Moses supposes his toes are roses, but Moses supposes erroneously.
But Moses, he noses, his toes aren't roses, as Moses supposes his toes to be.
Moses supposes his toes are roses, but Moses supposes erroneously. A Moses, a Moses.
There are many questions that can be asked concerning reality, life in general, and all the other things. But the real thing that you should be asking yourself in life is, why am I here? Because if you're here, nobody knows for sure, but you might have something to do with that. And if that's the case, if you came here because, the 21st century has sweet video games, or they figured out ticklish now in this time period, or, oh man, they were Scooby-Doo, we don't know what's going on. You are born to clueless nothing. Your parents have a general idea of how to do their life. Any older person, same thing. They have a general idea on how to do their life. You happen to meet enough green card holders, you'll see for yourself that the world is just this mindless blank donut of delicious choices. But there can also be some consequences to those choices. You want to feast. We want to feast continually and govern ourselves. So even governance is a question, for what is governance but thought combining into matter to create action? Action itself being the only thing that you are actually here to do. If you don't know what your purpose is or what you're here to do, well, you should start paying attention to the way that you do things more. You'll see that you gravitate towards certain things, and there is no small thing. Some people are here to choose world. Some people are here to change the diapers of the children of the world. And that could be you. Not saying that you should try to become a diaper changer. That is a strange job. It's also very niche, and I would assume it would be quite hard to come across. You might want to do something more broad. For example, if you really like diapers, there's no shortage of elders who can no longer hold their bowels. And speaking of elders, let me just say that the world is pretty swell. Consider that, 150 years ago, average life expectancy was around 30 years for your average person, even less throughout the retainer of human history. So you started having sex with 12-year-old girls at 20, and you were dead by 30. Girls started just popping out babies. Plop, 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 plop. We need more babies. Now we're at such a position where people no longer want to have children because we have overpopulated the planet. Now let me just say that it is no one person who's done this. It is a collaborative group effort between all of us. Short and tall. We put the order in. We got the order up. But stopping is a whole separate question. I realize that some of you with mental disorders have considered to euthanize yourselves by dropping yourself out of the gene pool. Others are frightened or scared that what you may birth will be something uncontrollable, something that would be in deep pain its entire existence, much similar to the way that you are. And while I see these perspectives, this is no reason to give up. We've been so anti-status quo, we've been so opposed to that which is right, that we have finally traversed an entire circular knob. Here we are back in the same place, but in the opposite position. Now we look backwards and we say, was it what I thought it was? Or what was I? Who could I have been? And who am I now? And what is it that makes both of those needs possible? Popular scientists and pseudoscientists of the day would like to talk to you about multiple universes, theories of places that are exactly like this with little tiny changes. And my friends, I am here to tell you that any place with any amount of change would be nothing close or similar to this. And that the popularized mind status Marvel comic book reality of multiple universes is a false one. There is only one reality, and I prove that by saying that I am here to tell you of this one and only reality. And whether there are other realities similar to, I cannot say. It is not something that is knowable. We would never have the chance to pass over into an alternate reality, as is often shown in science fiction. We see mirror reflections of different existences, a contacted universe. But dear friends, these are only folds and ripples within that time and space itself. One universe, multiple realities. We can see for an infinite span, and through that infinite span we can know that if we were there, we would fight the dragon. If it were possible, we would drive the choo-choo train. And that, my friends, is one of the most valuable lockets that you can hold close to yourself. And realizing that this world will be better through means that seem ignoble and wrong. The perspectives that we see, they're skewed and falsified. The only reality exists within our local strata, what we can clearly perceive. Terry Davis, Saint Terry, in my opinion, will be missed. But we will praise his name for eternity's ghost who was mentally and pushed back out to say that God-made engineer. Dear sweet souls, do not falter and do not fight. For each moment is only a stairwell toward that continual, actualized self.
It was always in my own best interest just to highlight the work of them. Because no matter how hard I tried to be, I could never create more than all of humanity. So many pieces slide by, and I feel so honest by them. What I want is to see a new evolution where we can create tomorrow. Don't you want to fly? I know I want to, and I with you can do the thing, and I hope that you will be in my afterlife. The purpose of the Radio Man is to display the content to the people. It is not necessarily to create content. The purpose of a radio is not to make something new, as it is to highlight something that's already there. That is what a radio is. It takes things that are wonderful and it puts them in one place so that it's easy to find. Because otherwise, there are so many different portals that you can go to discover this or that or the other thing. And that's what makes radio a radio. Radio is not just sound. It's not just audio. It's a collection of content to showcase that content to an audience so that the audience has an easier job of intaking quality content that goes through the quality filter of that lay Radio Man. Do you understand? I think that you do! And that's why I love you, because, all of these things that I'm explaining to you, it's like I'm explaining them to you because you know them. I am only the inner voice of your inner child's inner voice. And what I'm trying to tell you is that all of those things that you've made up in your mind, whether or not I told you made them up or you actually did, are completely 100% true. You see, just as the position of radio is to display content to users, it's also to place ideas within the user's minds to say, hey user, did you know that X, Y, or Z is quite high quality and that these other L, N, O, and P are lesser but still of general high quality. It is my pleasure to excrete to you the content which you have deemed to be high quality through time. And through our experience together, I think I have gotten much closer closer to understanding that nugget, that piece. But maybe the truth is that I always had an understanding of something that I preferred, and it just so happened to fall in line with what you wonderful people also preferred. And this is quite hilarious to me, because I always assumed that I'd be making this program for myself to listen to in the dark nights. And maybe one day my progeny would listen to it as well and say, wow, what a guy, what a gent. We don't understand anything. This man, he truly was a rebel, a rebellion. An interwoven rebellion toward myself. Dastardly. Climb forward and reveal myself to you, kind and loving sisters. You smell of the autumn wind, quickly blowing hot into this realm. And I can see it all here, etched into the sky like dark crimson silver shining upon the eyelids of those who were once awake. I am proud to be here, in this realm and reality with you, sitting upon this very cushion, enjoying this very production, as well to speak, also to hear, and reflect upon that which was just said. Wonderful exposition. I found you there, underneath the sea, with your eyes. Never again will you see. Darkness envelops it all, and I to you do believe we can find the sea.
The thing is, I'm going home. Bye!
I love you.
Oh my God!